Yeah, boy. You know what time it is. Y'all saw that trailer. If you were listening to the audio, you know what type of energy that we are on today. If you don't know by now, that is unfortunate, but we would like to welcome you to the Dust Off the Cartridge podcast. I am your host, Marcus Flowers, aka Flo, aka Call Me What You Want. Just don't call me crazy. And I am joined by the
Y'all
one.
know, y'all know who it is. He who shall not be named, Metro Meta.
Okay, nothing else today?
Nah, we keeping it simple.
All right. So sorry, there's a lot going on my end. Just to fill you guys in, somebody is stealing lumber from a neighboring housing development. So that's happening right now. Trying to keep an eye on that. Also, the Colorado Avalanche, the hockey team, are on the verge of going to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time since 2000. So that is very exciting. Colorado Rockies are on a 4-game losing streak. They took the day from losing off. They got so tired of losing, they said, you know what? We're going to chill for a day and then get back to losing. But, y'all don't want to hear about that. You already know.
Right. I don't want to hear from you, Marcus. I spent how many years telling you that every year the Rockies start off good and then they start losing it at the end of the season. And every year Marcus was out here like, nah, this the year. This the year.
They started off the season okay. Like, I didn't have high expectations going into the season. Like, we just have new management, new players get acclimated. Chris Bryant got injured, so I was like, you know what? It could be a toss-up, but damn, I did not think it would be this bad so early. It's usually this bad in like September, August, but for this to be June and for them to already say, you know what, Cancun in October, that kind of makes me feel bad. But we are not here to talk about that. Before we really jump in, y'all know we talk about the games we are playing. Meta, let us know what you're playing right now.
Still playing Horizon, still trying to get through that. I'm waiting on Xenoblade to come out next month. Actually, I did get something today. Saw this in the store. Picked me up a Digimon deck.
Okay.
Add to my collection. I'm trying to. When I got into card games, I wanted to build, like, at first in Yu-Gi-Oh, I wanted to build a deck for each like summoning method. I got a synchro. I'm working on my Xyz, and of course I got a Link deck. That's my main deck, that Evil Twins. And then I wanted to work on getting a deck for each of the game. I got a Pokemon deck. It's probably not that good, but I just bought one. I got a Magic deck, but I don't know how to play Magic. And this is the final piece of the puzzle right now. My Digimon deck, because I also have a Weiss deck and a whatchamacallit, Vagrant. Anyway, finally done. I just need to get more sleeves for it, but I've done it. I have a deck. So official callouts. Doesn't matter what the game is. I officially have hands depending on what format you're playing.
So is it safe to say that you will face any challenger that calls you out? That's what I'm hearing you saying, because we can set it up.
We'll see.
You're very confident in that. You're saying that you can take on any challengers.
I'm not saying I'm gonna take you on because I don't know how to play half these games.
Okay. So if you guys remember, and I don't think it was so bad we did not put it on YouTube. We actually, a few months ago, we visited a card store.
No, we did put it on YouTube.
We visited I think I deleted the footage, but we visited a card store for their Yu-Gi-Oh night, and Metro Meta got embarrassed every step of the way. Like,
I will have you know, I went back to that store, and I went 1-1, 1 loss, 1 win.
But did you record it? Did you take pictures?
Nah, I don't need to.
Did you have any witnesses?
I got my win.
Nah, it don't count. We didn't see it. But yeah, no. So currently I am playing, of course, PGA 2K21. I'm still on that. I don't know if I told y'all last time. I recently finished the tour, and I'm going to go back and do another one. And I also just finished Pokemon Go. It was Pokemon Go Fest. I participated in that. It's actually Pokemon Go is actually one of my. I think it's my favorite game because I have just been. It's so convenient to play and it's so fun and it's really immersing yourself in like being in the Pokemon world. Like you actually feel like a trainer. Like if that's weird to say. But yeah, no, that is about it. I may be getting MLB The Show. I was going to wait until I get my PS5, but I may just bite the bullet and buy it on the Switch. But yeah, other than that, no. But let's get back into it. So we were going to do this last week, but we had some scheduling conflicts. So we are here to talk PlayStation State of Play. Meta, I know you didn't watch it live, you watched it after. What were your just overall thoughts and opinions on things?
I thought it was pretty good. Like it was a pretty solid State of Play. Like unlike Nintendo and the Directs, there's no like big chase game that we're looking for when the States of Plays come around. So really it's whatever they can show us and whatever they think is going to add to the PlayStation experience. And I think they did a good job of showing a variety of different games that would get people excited. I'm interested to see what they got left. They showed off that new Horizon game that's in VR. So I don't know. I probably won't get a VR. Like that's not my thing, but I'll probably like at least watch it.
Okay. Very cool. We're going to break it down. Just what they showed and what they didn't show. But yeah, let's just so they started it off with let me see. They started it off with, of course, the Resident Evil 4 remake. And I know you're not a big fan of just horror in general, but I am, and it's a Resident Evil 4 remake. And it's Capcom confirmed that Resident Evil 4 remake is on the way. The trailer showcases the beautiful visuals and different ways Capcom is reimagining this survival horror classic via the story, graphics, and gameplay, but still aims to retain the essence of what made fans fall in love with the game in the first place. Capcom is also developing VR content for a remake, but didn't specify what exactly that means. The remake will release on March 24, 2023 for Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and PC. It's very interesting that Capcom is making VR content, like because for a minute there you thought that VR was going away, but it looks like it's making a resurgence and they're going full throttle on it.
Yeah. I mean, out of all the before, what is it? The Oculus Quest came out. PlayStation was like the best place to be on VR. It was the highest selling one. So definitely this is a strong suit for Sony. It's something that they can really leverage going forward as something that I would say makes their platform different than everybody else. Like everybody right now has their like thing that makes them impressive. Like you got Game Pass over at Xbox, you got the portability and the exclusives of the Nintendo Switch. And for Sony, it was always that like cinematic, like exclusive game. But how many of those are we really going to sell? Like even when Ghost of Tsushima was starting to hit, you were starting to hear voices of people being like, man, all these games is the same. So I think them diversifying the like PlayStation brand and like adding to it and adding that activity of just like having VR, I think really supports them. And we've seen them get a lot of great mileage and a lot of good development out of PlayStation. Marcus, I know you don't have a PS5, but for those of us who do, right there on board, it comes with Astrobot, which started out as like a VR game, but on PlayStation, they basically just turned it into the PlayStation 5 mascot. And a lot of people, when the PS5 first came out and they were doing reviews, they were like, yeah, let's make Astrobot PlayStation's new mascot. I don't know how in PlayStation's going to be with that, but that's definitely something that they got out of VR that they wouldn't have developed, because they were a lot of their Japanese studios, a lot of their studios that would have been working on more family-friendly, more platformer-based activities, like what was it, Sony Japan or whatever. They got rid of those studios. But in VR, you're incentivized to still work on those activities. So I definitely feel like they're getting this back from that. And I definitely think it's going to force Sony to be a lot more diverse in the types and level of content they put on their platform.
Right. And it was very interesting that they started off with the horror game, just saying, hey, we know who we are, and this is what we're giving you, and we're going to deliver it. It's just Capcom has been a cash cow for Sony these past couple of years with all of the titles and IPs they have been training out. So it's very interesting. Following that, it was Resident Evil Village for VR2. And just like Resident Evil 7, Capcom also confirmed it was bringing Resident Evil Village to VR via PlayStation VR 2. Using the headset's new controllers that were designed with VR in mind, players will feel more immersed in the action and have greater control over their movement within the game. It's unclear if it will remain on PSVR 2 as an exclusive like its predecessor, or if it will come to other headsets at a later date. So, just another one that they're saying, hey, we're giving you guys the content that you want, the content that you need. This is what's really going to put you in a Resident Evil world that Capcom has created over the past couple of decades. And with them going full on, it's very interesting to see how or where it goes from here. What's the next step after VR and after these remakes? Like, what's the next step?
Yeah. I definitely feel like I don't think Sony's going to go in on like the meta aspect of VR, just because there's so many companies in there. And we'll talk a little bit more about this later on when like we're talking about like EA and some of the moves they're making. But I definitely feel that there's an aspect of just VR in general that's like enticing to companies, and it's new blood, and like we're getting to the point of less and less returns when it comes to hardware. Like you're getting Horizon Zero Dawn 1 is beautiful. Horizon Zero Dawn 2, on my TV, it's beautiful. But unless I'm looking at them directly, I really can't tell how much Guerrilla Games has leveled it up. And this is Guerrilla Games. They're known for like their technicality, their ability to really create amazing looking games. So I think this is Sony and a lot of game companies pivoting towards finding something, getting back towards, all right, we can't sell them on the hardware. We can't sell them on the power. We got to find something else to get that. And I think that's something that Nintendo has always strive to do. And that's what makes them such a difficult competitor in the market, is that they're not holding on to like, oh, we can beef it up and let it go, and they're going to do it. They're like, no, what's new? What changed? We need to make something changed about this. I definitely feel like that's leading into their philosophy of moving forward and constantly looking for what's next.
Right, for sure. And moving on, another horror game. They are The Walking Dead Sinners and Saints Chapter 2. And this is another VR game. VR lovers will soon be able to slay the undead in the upcoming game set, The Walking Dead universe. The Walking Dead Sinners and Saints Chapter 2 is coming to VR platforms later this year and PlayStation VR 2 next year. Given the staggered release, it seems to suggest that PSVR 2 is releasing next year, but Sony has yet to put a release window on a new headset. So not only, it looks like Sony is also preparing to say, hey, we not only do we have this new headset, but we have the content that you want and that you need for consuming your time. Like, you won't just be playing the same old rudimentary games. Like, we are giving you content that works for you, that will occupy your time. Because
but Marcus, there's one question that we're not asking. Who really wants more of The Walking Dead?
Here's the thing. It's like The Walking Dead is like a lot of like Harry Potter. Like, you got to just realize how big that franchise is. They have like from the comics to the TV shows to the video games. Like, it's a conglomerate.
I'm gonna say it now. So, like, I think we've had enough of The Walking Dead.
And so, well, I mean, people can say that about anything. Like, people can say, "Oh, there's been enough for WWE," or "Oh, there's been enough of Pokemon," or "Oh, no, there's been enough of the NFL." But like every genre is going to have their haters. But if it keeps printing out money, you're going to keep going to that formula and making sure that it works. So like you may not be a fan of the Walking Dead franchise series, but you got to think there are hundreds of people, thousands, millions who are actual fans. And even one of my friends, journalist Marcus Hill, he's doing his first time watching The Walking Dead, and he's all the way up to season 7, and he started 3 weeks ago. And he's just like, yo, this show is crazy. I can't believe I slept on it. So it's just like, just because something isn't your flavor, it doesn't mean that it's nasty forever.
We've had enough of The Walking Dead in these.
We've
had enough of The Walking Dead in these.
Just because something isn't what you like.
Nah, I think we've had enough of The Walking Dead.
I bet if we put out a poll, people would still.
You put out all the polls you want to. I think that The Walking Dead needs to stop.
See, but that's your opinion.
You can tag The Walking Dead. I still don't care. It needs to stop.
That's what do you have to back that? Like, what facts do you have?
I mean, like, how much are they really getting out of the show? Like, what story qualities are they still getting at? And like, it had what, 7 seasons? It started with there's zombies. And now we're going to crazy. Like, we've had a million different zombie stories. And there's never been a single part of The Walking Dead. Of what I've seen of it, I've seen very little, but what I know of it.
Oh, wait.
I know and seen enough of The Walking Dead that there hasn't been enough of an interesting ideal from that show, from that franchise, to justify it still being around compared to literally any other zombie story. Okay?
So,
Slug Terra zombie Halloween episode had more levels of depth and interest than most of The Walking Dead. And I will stand by that.
So you mean to tell me a person with very little knowledge of
I seen the first episode. I watched all the wisecracks on the theories behind it. Don't try and bring me on here like I haven't seen a single second. I know what it's about.
Brand new happening. A person with very little knowledge of a brand
it's a zombie
is
story.
Making a grand statement.
It's a zombie story. How much new ground is there?
Okay, you know what? Let's go with that. Let's say zombie story. You watched that first episode. So from that first episode, you decided that everybody is tired of The Walking Dead.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's ignorant in your thinking. Like,
I don't care.
That you're just as bad as certain politicians, as certain pundits, as certain Twitter personalities. You may as well just call yourself Sean King at this point. You may
as well. It's The Walking Dead.
You may as well.
Who's really checking on The Walking Dead?
Here's a grand statement, and this is what's right because I said it's right.
Yeah.
You know who else? You know who else says that? Our former president, Donald J. Trump. He says, because I feel
it's The Walking Dead. No one is attached to this franchise.
It's wrong. And it's the world believes
the only reason why The Walking Dead is still around is because literally every other zombie show is gone. That's the only reason why it's still here. If any other zombie show was still around, The Walking Dead would be as dead as its freaking zombies.
So let me ask you something then. Have you watched every other zombie show?
There's not that many of them.
But how do you how have you done the research? Have you
name one other zombie show?
Look, I'm not saying The Walking Dead is a bad brand. I'm saying it's a franchise.
I'm just saying The Walking Dead is only as famous as it is because of the lack of zombie shows. And if any other zombie show or any other zombie media was as liked as it would be dead. Okay?
Okay. Enough of that. Meta has just gone full Trump.
No.
So
I stand by that.
Now, more on the state of play. PlayStation VR 2, No Man's Sky is coming. No Man's Sky is coming to PS2, something fans of the game will likely be delighted to hear. Although the game is already standard PlayStation VR, it's likely getting an upgrade so that it can take full advantage of the new headset and features on the new controls. Given there's no release date for the headset itself, Hello Games didn't provide a release date for the new version of the game. I don't have a lot to add, as I'm not very familiar with No Man's Sky. Meta, are you?
I actually do, because I used to, one of my favorite YouTubers, his name was Shammy, and he did like 2 mega reviews on No Man's Sky. Shout out to what's the name of the company? Shout out to the people who made No Man's Sky. They put their heads in the ground and they said, look, our game came out bad and we're gonna fix it. And they've been putting in that work to fix it ever since. So shout out to y'all. It's still not cool what you did, but we're proud of y'all. We're proud of y'all. And honestly, Marcus, they released like a smaller game a few years ago, I think it was. But I'm ready to see some new stuff from them. I'm not saying like a sequel to No Man's Sky or anything like that, but like we're ready to see something new from y'all. And also, to the people over at Star Citizen, it's been how many years, how many millions, still nothing.
Right. No, for sure. Next up, Horizon Call of the Mountain gets a game trailer play. A new look at Horizon Call of the Mountain, a brand new VR side story set in the world of Horizon was shown. Players will be taking control of Rez, a former Shadow Carja warrior who is skilled in archery and climbing, as he attempts to redeem himself while investigating a grave threat. It has been confirmed that Aloy will appear in the game alongside other Horizon characters, but will likely not be playable. The game is currently in development for PlayStation VR 2 and will likely be a launch title for the hardware. Meta, I know you are a big Horizon Zero Dawn fan. How do you feel about this new with Call of the West? Does this push you towards thinking of purchasing a VR 2?
I mean, it's going to depend on where we are when I finish Forbidden West. But for me, the great part about this is it's setting in the fact that Horizon Zero Dawn is a flagship franchise for the PlayStation brand. And that's what I love. Like, we've seen it a little bit here and there with, like, Aloy being on the screen. But, like, with Uncharted gone, Uncharted's, like, over. God of War's, like, still there, but, like, that's coming out like once every 3 years now. And basically, The Last of Us being also gone. Last of Us, by the way, better zombie story than The Walking Dead. But with all those things put in place, like the road has been paved for Horizon Zero Dawn to just be the next big PlayStation franchise.
Okay. Next up, Marvel Spider-Man Remastered and Miles Morales are coming to PC. Because I'm not a PC gamer. Meta, you aren't either. On August 12th, 2022, the game will expect this adaptation for coming to PC. And Spider-Man Miles Morales will come to PC later this fall. So I think it's a good thing. Like, I know a lot of people were upset that Spider-Man wasn't on PC, and people were upset that Insomniac Games took so long to make it PC, but now it's finally happening. and I guess it's just great news.
Good for PC players. Good for them.
Stray is releasing in July. The long-awaited cat game, Stray, is coming to PlayStation 5 on July 19th, and it will be a part of PlayStation Plus' new tiered system. The game will be available to PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium subscribers. There are 2 new tiers that are being introduced by Sony. A new look at the gameplay was also showed during the event. What did you think of Stray? I liked it. I enjoyed it.
It's cute. It's the cute cat game that we like. Fill our hole till Untitled Goose Game 2.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's something to take up your time. It just feels like I don't want to say a hard game. It just feels like it's going to take up your time, and it's going to give you quality content so that you can continue to enjoy your PlayStation 5. Next up, Callisto Protocol gets first gameplay and release dates. Striking Distance Studios shared a new look at the Callisto Protocol and a December release date during the event. It's incredibly clear that this game is heavily inspired by the Dead Space series, which should come as no surprise given it's from the creator of that franchise. Whether it can match what Restoral Games achieved with the series remains to be seen, but we'll find out when it releases on December 2nd, 2022 for Xbox, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC. So with Callisto releasing on all of these systems, that means to tell me that this game has been years in the making, and it's not surprising just because it's Striking Distance Studios, and I think it will play well on the PS4, but I think the version on the PS5 or the version on the Xbox Series X will be so much better than on their previous predecessors, like always, and that's just typically how it goes with these games. Like I had the opportunity to play WWE 2K on the PS4, and then I played it on the PS5, and it's just like both of the games were very good, but the stark contrast is basically night and day.
I definitely think that the DualShock it changes the game. Like if you've never used the DualShock, you're like it's not much. It's like an upgraded Switch controller, but no, it changes the game.
Right. Next up, you already know, we kicked off this Dust Off the Cartridge with this trailer. For audio listeners, for visual listeners, I apologize. We didn't want to do the copyright thing, but Street Fighter 6 will be releasing in 2023. Finally, Street Fighter series is one of my favorite franchise. I just love playing the game. It's very fun. This game was very fun. I can't wait. They said that Ryu's new look will be addressed in the storyline, which is just an added tier that makes me very excited to see where this franchise and where this game is headed.
I'm definitely interested to see where Street Fighter goes when it comes to like a competitive mode. Yeah. I know there was a lot of controversy with Street Fighter 5. Honestly, what I would want to see moving forward is just more of a balance on focusing on allowing for more levels of competition. I think so often we get so pulled into like, oh yeah, FGC, like the big time, the big names. I definitely think that even if it's just like Capcom having a bunch of smaller tournaments for like lesser skilled players, just getting and building that community, I think would do leagues, not just for like Street Fighter, but honestly the fighting game community as a whole. Because I feel like right now we have a lot of like great fighting games, but there's not like really a basis. Like we couldn't like make a tournament. But at this rate, we have like Injustice is fully rostered and stacked. We can play that. Super Smash Bros. Fully rostered and stacked. You can play that. Mortal Kombat fully rostered and stacked. You can play that. Honestly, if we could get the hype of like a Street Fighter, I think we could really get the energy we need to move towards pushing the fighting game community more closer towards mainstream gaming.
Right, for sure. And Capcom does do smaller tournaments. But I think it is. I think the Sims will be great, and I think you'll be more exclusive with Street Fighter 6. Next up, Final Fantasy 16 gets release window. Final Fantasy 16 gets an all new trailer and it's releasing next summer. The mature entry into the Final Fantasy series looks to be one of the most interesting takes on a franchise yet, and it will only be available on PS5 and PC after an extended period of silence. It looks like fans can count on Square Enix to begin revving up the marketing cycle for this title in the coming months. Not a lot to add to that. As I'm not very well endowed with the Final Fantasy franchise. But I know a lot of just people I talk to about video games. They are very enamored with it, and they think this is going to push it up to the next level.
It's definitely interesting. I'm more interested in this Final Fantasy than the last few. So I really hope that we get like an interesting Final Fantasy that can really like sort of fix the balance they've been having ever since they've gone to full like action-based combat as opposed to turn-based. I'd also like a turn-based Final Fantasy. Like, come on, man.
So when you say turn-based, as in, so you're familiar with the Final Fantasy series?
I know a little bit about it, yeah.
Okay. Have you actually played any of the games, or is it just like you just watching YouTube videos?
I've watched a ton of YouTube videos on it. I haven't played any of them. I don't think so. I wanted to play. What was the last one? SIP 14. Yeah, I wanted to play 14, but I just never got around to it.
Will you be playing this one?
When I first saw it, I thought yes. I was like, I remember like seeing a lot of werewolves and stuff. So it looks pretty good. It's for me, it comes down to the story and the characters. I've yet to see a character that made me go, all right, I need to play this. I need to meet this person. So it's gonna be dependent on whether or not they can do that.
Right. No, for sure. That was our PlayStation State of Play review. Meta, do you have anything else to add or any just final thoughts?
What would you grade it?
I would definitely grade it 4 out of 5. Just because I think just myself being selfish, I would have liked to see Street Fighter get an actual release date than just 2023. But that's just me and myself for selfish reasons. But no, I think they delivered on every level, just like attacking. So it seems like Sony has done an amazing job with attacking what they're good at. Like they know what works and what doesn't work at this point for them as a gaming company, so they know what to go after, what IPs work for them. And so for them to attack it with this, with saying, hey, we're going all in on VR. Like we see what the Oculus is doing, but we're going all the way in. It feels like Sony is already a juggernaut, but they're like, yo, y'all think we big time now. Just wait. It's gonna get worse. I mean, it's gonna get even better.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with the death of E3, RIP, shout outs to that. I think this is sort of the best we can do now, is have these sort of state of play.
You know, actually, E3 is not dead. It's actually going on right now. E3 is going on until June 12th. It's just random trailers and other things like that, but it's still going on. But Meta, what would you give this state of play?
3 out of 5.
Okay. We will be right back. I forgot we are back. I forgot how long that trailer was. That was nearly 5 minutes. But we're talking about Gotham Knights, the video game, not to be confused with Gotham Knights, the TV show. In fact,
the TV show is about to be fire.
Gotham Knights, the video game, said, message from Bell Fry. The Gotham Knights game and the upcoming TV show of the same name are separate projects with no connection to one another. We can't wait for you to experience the action of our Gotham Knights soon. So basically,
I know this Gotham Knights isn't talking about some set us aside. The same Gotham Knights that had Red Hood out here jump hopping across buildings because of death walking.
Hey, we're gonna get to that.
I'm just saying, don't pour down on the CW if you're doing the same thing.
Gotham Knights basically said, "Hey, don't connect us to them new niggas over there. We are let us be us and y'all be cool." But earlier, I want to say a few weeks ago, they released 13 minutes of gameplay, and
in 5 minutes of Red Hood hot stepping across buildings because of death walking.
You know, I'm gonna be 100. I was very excited for this game until I actually saw the gameplay, because when I saw the gameplay, I said Nightwing deserves better. Red Hood deserves better. And Red Hood is my favorite DC character. So for him to be treated at, like what Meta says, just hopscopping around, it's like, hey, he deserves to be the killer that he is.
I'm wondering why they're holding back. Like, it's Gotham Knights. Like, really? You got Robin, Damian, Barbara Gordon, Red Hood. Where everybody else at? Where everybody else at? Where the rest of the Bat family at? Where's Red Robin? Where's Misfit? Like, why are we just doing 4? Oh, it's 4-player co-op? No. They could have done better. They could have added more. If you're gonna water them down this much, give me more characters.
So, okay, here is a rebuttal for that. So, would you rather them add more characters with these same kind of mechanics, or would you like them use these 4 and get it right? With, like, I don't.
We're getting neither. So, what's it matter?
I just think it's a lot like with DC in the movies. It's just like you want to make you just want good DC content, and when they can't deliver, why would you want to see them further devalue their IPs like that?
I mean, for me, it's just like, if you're gonna go with an ambitious concept, pointing to the CW show, they're like, all right, we're gonna kill Batman, and then we're gonna have all these cool Gotham Knights.
But that's not ambitious.
We're gonna get. They were like, let's go with Joker's daughter. Let's go with some random Batman kid. Like, they at least went with like interesting people. We've seen these 4 in like half the other games. I could play every single one of these characters in Arkham Asylum, which is like what? How many years old now?
And you can play them better, but at the same time, it's just like,
again, play them better from the exact same studio.
Bruce Wayne being dead isn't like intriguing. You can't have the Batman.
But I'm saying they came up with the same concept, and one team was like, let's go crazy and do Riverdale but in Gotham, and the other team was like, let's go with White Milk.
So, yeah, I agree. Gotham Knights, it does not look good. I'll probably still cop, but I'm not expecting anything from it. Moving on, Sonic Central live stream set for June 7th. So a lot like Pokemon Direct and Nintendo Direct and State of Play, Sega has announced a Sonic-focused live stream offering updates on Sonic-related projects coming this year. Sega has announced that a Sonic Central live stream, well, I just read that, announced on Twitter the Sonic Central live stream will happen June 7th at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern on the Sonic YouTube and Twitch channel. While the tweet doesn't mention any specific announcements, last year Sonic Central saw the announcement of Sonic Origins, Sonic Frontiers, and Sonic Colors Ultimate, so there is the potential for some big announcements.
Look. Sonic, really? You're not that guy. Sonic not that guy.
Okay.
Nobody cares about Sonic.
Okay, this is another one of your baseless saying nobody cares about Sonic.
Baseless? Have you seen what they're putting out on IGN first? Have you seen what they're showing off in front? They got a whole trailer of my man's running in a grass field. Bro,
that's what Sonic does. He's
like
a
Unity demo with Sonic spray painted on it.
That's what Sonic does. He's a runner. Like, you act like
it's looking like garbage.
Like,
I listened to IGN specific.
Okay,
IGN specific podcast. These are employees of IGN talking about what they've shown us so far, and even they thought it looked boring.
Okay, well, first of all, I don't grade any. As a man, why are you looking for another man to shape your opinion?
I'm not. I'm just saying the entire internet is like, this is looking like trash.
Okay, so as a man, why are you looking at the internet?
Man, don't hit me with that. I am over the age of 21. I don't use anything that starts with as a man, okay? When you're a man, you don't need to specify what you are.
As a man.
As a man? No.
Why
I don't need to specify what I am.
Why are you basing your opinions on other people's thoughts?
Because Sonic is trash, and we all know Sonic's trash.
See, but
not even saying this from the grip. It's the same cycle. They announce a Sonic game. Everyone's like, this is looking good. It comes out. It's trash. Everybody's like, dang, I wish Sonic was good. They announce a new game. Everyone goes, it's looking good. And it comes out trash. We need to tell Sega they need to step it up. Okay? Okay? Because it's trash. They got showed up by a fan in their last 2 releases.
Here's the thing. You may slightly be correct, but once again, there are still those people
that showed up and down by Sonic Mania.
There are still those people who enjoy the Sonic product, who enjoy the Sonic content, who realize that Sonic is the foundation of Sega.
I don't respect the opinion of anybody who cares about Charmy the freaking Bee, okay? We really don't.
Okay, but actually, we are we're probably going to do a not a live stream, but we will be doing a recap of the Sonic Central Live.
I'm not coming to a Sonic recap.
We are going to do that. We are going to do that. Be on the lookout for that. Next, we are EA employees cancel walkout. So, of course, if you guys know, this is Pride Month. Here at 26 in Glencoe, we stand with our LGBTQIA plus
though, Marcus.
Persons, and however you identify, we support you. So Electronic Arts employee walkout canceled after EA makes statements supporting transgender and women's rights. Employees have demanded that the company speak up on gender-based rights, not rainbow wash the EA logo for Pride Month. Ooh. So basically EA employees said, hey, a rainbow EA is not enough. We need you to do more. So after weeks of controversy regarding Electronic Arts' refusal to openly support transgender and reproductive rights, EA employees took matters into their own hands, with some studios, including Apex Legends developers Respawn Entertainment, speaking out in support of trans rights. But other employees took things even further. EA staff planned a June 3rd walkout, but that ultimately didn't happen after the company issued a public statement. On June 3rd, a tweet supporting both transgender and women's rights appeared on EA's official Twitter page, along with the link to the gaming giant's Pride Month webpage. The threatened walkout was organized via a message posted on the company's internal Slack, according to GameViz Industry. So basically, somebody was in the Slack channel and was like, "Yo, where's our Pride? What's our Pride Month marketing campaign?" No answer. Then they said, "Are we doing any initiatives for Pride Month?" No answer. Anybody here with Pride Month? No answer. So then they just said, "We walk out," and that's when EA was like, "Okay. We'll put out a statement and we'll even set up a Pride page." But I think it's good that it's happening, because I feel like a lot of companies during this month, and even during Black History Month and other, even like Hispanic Heritage Month, they change their avatar. They say they send out a tweet or something. They may even put out a little bit of content, but there's truly no action behind these words. And that's what I think I don't want to say it's encouraging, but it does look bright for EA to say, hey, we hear you guys and this is what we're going to do.
I mean, yeah, like when it comes to EA, there's a lot of weird, like, it doesn't surprise me. Management at EA is going crazy. Like, we've heard rumors of like them trying to be bought out, like keep their company. They just lost their contract with FIFA. So now their EA Sports games are not going to have the FIFA title in there. So, really, when it's looking at EA, they're like in a spiral where in a couple of years, I feel like we're going to be looking at EA like we're looking at Activision Blizzard, like, oh gosh, I used to like those games. But yeah, it's
Right.
like it's really not all that surprising that like they're just halving it right now.
Right. And speaking of EA FIFA, you put this on the docket. Uh, so as a fallout, FIFA and EA end a gaming partnership. So this happened last month, and we didn't really talk about it. The demise of a relationship that produced one of the most popular games of all time will mean risk for soccer's governing body, but few changes to the consumer. So after almost 3 decades, one of the most successful commercial relationships in sports is over. Months of tense negotiations between a video game maker, Electronic Arts, and FIFA, soccer's global governing body, ended without an agreement to extend a partnership that had created not so much a wildly popular game as a cultural phenomenon. The current deal, which was to end after this year's World Cup in Qatar, has been adjusted to run through the Women's World Cup next summer. Once that tournament is over, though, the company said 150 million FIFA video game players will have to get used to a new name for the series, EA Sports FC. Ugh. The game itself will not change much. Most of the world's famous clubs and stars will still be playable because of separate licensing deals with their teams and leagues, even though the World Cup itself and other FIFA-controlled events will no longer be included. Still, the continuation of the game does not alter the seismic nature of the rebranding. Yeah, this is very monumental with it just happening this way. Like it's very telling that FIFA said, "Hey, you guys are doing us a disservice, and you guys are doing a disservice, and we need to change and do something else." But I think also that it just sparks that we're in a consumer economy right now, and it's going to get even worse. And when consumers' needs are met, it's going to reflect on the product. And with a game such as EA Soccer FC, which is probably going to be good and will have the same players, it won't have the same mystique that it once had. And it's going to be reflected in the game.
I think we're gonna soon find that FIFA's gonna figure out just how hard it is to actually make a video game.
Well, I think there also could be another gaming company or another branding company who will build the game for them.
For that type of money, I don't know many developers that are capable of doing that. The only ones that have any experience and would be interested would be Konami. And it's Konami.
I can see 2K doing
they
it.
Are messing up Master. Who?
2K.
Maybe. 2K kind of greedy, though.
Okay. And next up, you put this on Summer Gamefest.
Yes. Summer Gamefest is on. Marcus, what do you know of Jeff Keighley?
Jeff Keighley, the name sounds familiar.
For those of you guys who don't know, Jeff Keighley, I don't really know how he got to be famous. He's not really a YouTuber, but he somehow got famous in the gaming sphere. He's really known for the Game of the Year awards. He runs that, or the Game Ads of the Year awards, as we like to call them. But super influential. And when COVID hit and E3 just said, look, we booking it, my man put the gaming community on his back and said, all right, we're doing Summer Game Fest. I'm going to reach out to some developers. He's continuing the show. He's expanding it a bit. just a few things that have gone on already. For Summer Game Fest, they had a live concert June 8th. June 9th, they had Devolver Digital showing some things off. This week, they have Geek Week with Netflix, which has a lot of interesting things. I would just point out my favorite things that everybody should keep their eyes out for. All week, they're doing different announcements. Let's see. Today, they announced Umbrella Academy had a show. Sandman, did you see that, Marcus?
I did, yes.
Sandman got a trailer. That's really cool. Resident Evil got a trailer. Also, Lock and Key got some new stuff. They're still making Fate a Wing Saga. Nobody wants that, Netflix. But shout outs to Shadow and Bone. That also got an announcement today. That show's amazing. Check that out. Do not watch Wing Saga. Tomorrow.
And what is Shadow and Bone on? What streaming service?
Netflix. This is all Netflix.
Okay.
Tomorrow, new trailer, School for Good and Evil. I didn't even realize this was still in the making. I can't wait for that. Sophie's the best. I don't care.
Are you familiar with the books?
Yeah, I read the first 3 books. I didn't keep up with it, but I read the first 3 books. Also tomorrow, let's see, anything else I care about? No. Cyberpunk Edge Runners coming out Wednesday. That's going to be good. Love, Death, and Robots has another announcement. That last season was pretty fire. I don't know if you caught that. Dragon Prince, that's getting an announcement on Wednesday. Can't wait for that. That's going to be my Joker along with Miss Marvel. I'm going to be completely insufferable on Wednesday. Arcane getting an announcement. Oh, bruh, I might just have to get on this camera again for tomorrow, for Wednesday. Then on Thursday, some Stranger Things stuff. Then it's mostly Stranger Things for that one. Dungeons and Dragons getting an announcement. Friday, Cuphead, new announcement. Sorry. And Tekken's getting a show on Friday.
Yeah, can't wait for that. You mentioned Netflix Geek Week. Anything else you need to add?
They got a game spotlight on June 10th as well. But just keep your eyes on social media for Summer Games Fest. I know it's more game ads, but it fills in the hole for E3 and for the smaller video game companies that Jeff can really reach out for. This is a great opportunity for them to show off their games without their games being bookended with big things. When it was coming to E3, Xbox would be like, oh yeah, we got 37 games to show.
Right.
And they'd have all these indie games, but you're bookending me with Cyberpunk 2077 and Halo Infinite. Nobody's going to care about my cat game there. So really shout out to Jeff Keighley. Keep it out for the small ones.
For sure. That was Dust Off the Cartridge. Thank you for rocking with us this past hour or so. Follow me on all social media platforms at Flow My Hero. Follow Meta on all social media platforms at Metro Meta 26. Follow the brand at 26 in Glencoe Media Network. We will be pushing more content out this summer, so please follow our social channels. And until next time, peace.
The Walking Dead was never good. It's your boy Metro Meta. Don't forget to watch and listen to all of 26 and Glencoe's content. And also don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to rise above.